All right, Garrett, welcome. Episode 10.
What's going on at 10, baby? Let's go. Double digits.
Double digits.
You
Dude,
know, big things.
that's awesome. To take a quick moment to reflect from, hey man, let's do this podcast thing. Let's get going. And you're just like gung ho about like, it doesn't need to be perfect. Doesn't need like, let's just get it. Let's just make it happen. And
Yeah.
10 episodes later.
10 episodes later, now we're here and we're getting better as we go through and obviously, trying to try and get a better following and talk about what we love and share that with folks. So it's always fun. It's fun doing this.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's just been good overall.
Yeah.
From professionally, personally, like totally. I enjoy these episodes with you.
I agree. Same.
All right, let's jump into the market minute. And what do we got? Where are we at? A lot still happening in the world, and
lots still happening in the world. Conventional. We'll jump right into rates. Conventional, you're looking at anywhere between 6.125 and 6.5%. That's kind of the broad range that we're kind of going with today. FHA and VA, you're looking at anywhere between 5.875 and 6.125, and that's kind of our rate topic today for Market Minute. As always, it is an extremely volatile time for the time being. But as always, as we talked about, the goal still remains the same for everybody. And that's to make sure that we're budgeting correctly and that we're making the right decisions by staying informed. So,
it's a game plan, right? Game planning. And it doesn't matter what the rates are, where we're at really in the market. It comes down to the tried and true.
Totally.
If you're ready, you're ready.
That's it. Always.
We'll keep rolling through that. Real quick. So numbers came out for March, and January. We are roughly 1% up year over year over the previous January from 2025 to 2026. March numbers came out. We are roughly 1% down. Actually,
in home sales,
home sales
from
last year. Now the difference, I would say, last year compared to this year, I think this year we'll see the more traditional market. We'll see April's numbers here in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Last year, our market really peaked in March, and then we talked about this, and then it kind of roller coastered the remainder of the year. This year feels a lot more normal. It seems a lot more traditional, if you want to call it that, in air quotes. But we'll see how this trend, takes off. But March last year was the highest of the season, and so we'll see how we go. So it's not surprising that we're down this March compared to last year, because last year was a lot happening in March.
And now that you say that, I think I remember too. I mean, we had a pretty good March, April last year.
We did,
from what I recall. Yeah. So. And then comparing it to kind of this year, hearing that decrease, it kind of makes sense, so to speak. It lines up. So, well, then that's cool. That's good to know. Odd that up in January, down in March, but I guess we'll see how the rest of the year plays out. So,
let's get into our local sports scene. So, big week this week. We had a really important event yesterday in regards to the Sacramento Kings. And what do you got on that?
Yeah, we had lottery odds came out. I know you got the spreadsheet on picks and kind of what we're looking at. What you mind going through what we're looking at odd wise and pick wise?
No, not at all. So yesterday, the Kings tied with the Utah Jazz for the fourth worst record in the league, and so they did a coin flip yesterday. NBA did a coin flip. The results of the coin flip was...
Did they really just do a coin flip?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was really... Right. That was a tiebreaker, the coin flip.
Yeah,
and so, long story short, Kings lost the coin flip. Couldn't lose to the Warriors to end the season, but they lost the coin flip.
Right.
So they had one job. But so long story short, what that really means now is that the worst the Kings can pick is 9th.
Okay.
And whereas now the worst that the Jazz, who won the coin flip, can pick is 8th.
And if we would have lost that last game, do you know?
It would automatically been the worst they could have picked was 8th, then the Jazz would have won tonight.
So we're last game of the season, we're out there trying to ball out for a higher pick. Hey man, that chalks up. It makes sense. It's Sacramento Kings basketball.
There you go, baby.
I'm such a hater right now.
I know you are. So, long story short, best for the odds. I have all the odds right here. For them to pick fifth,
Okay.
they only have a 2% chance to pick fifth.
Hmm.
Their best odds is they have a 25.5% chance to pick seventh.
Okay.
And then the next best odds is an 18.2% chance to pick sixth.
Got it.
And then after that, here's a bright spot, right? To pick number one, 11.5. Number two, 11.4. Pick number three, 11.2. To pick number four, 11. So greatest single opportunity, seventh at 25%. But to pick in the top four, they have a 45% chance
Right.
to pick in the top four. Um,
Hmm.
So we'll see. I
Yeah.
mean, it's basically it's like top four or bust, baby.
Right.
Uh, it, you know, so we hope they obviously pick, you know, higher. There's really four solid guys coming out that are going to be in the draft that no matter kind of what website you go to check out and who's getting drafted where, it's these four
Yeah.
guys.
Okay.
And after that, it's anyone's guess.
Gotcha.
So you get the top four, you're golden, and if you don't, then welcome to Sacramento.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then we'll keep our fingers crossed
Yeah,
for hopefully top four pick. God, that would be great. That would be great for I mean, just for the franchise,
yeah,
obviously. But
and just the vibe and
yeah, everything.
enthusiasm.
Yeah,
Because I mean,
everything.
Sacramento does a great job rallying around their teams, and one of those
We
teams
do.
is actually, as of today,
Yeah.
in first place.
That's right, baby.
What do you got on that?
My Sacramento A's. That's right. You heard it here. So last week we were talking about how they were, I think, second in the division,
Yep.
half a game up right now in the division, and they're playing some good ball. They're playing some real
Yeah.
good ball. They beat Seattle last night. Um, Man, they're hitting the ball well. They're playing defense when they need to be, and they're looking good. They're looking really good. I know
Yeah.
we've talked about them being exciting and being fun to watch this year, and they're everything that we've said that they would be so far. And I don't even think that's with Nick Kurtz like really kind of all that
No.
hot yet.
No, no, not at all. And the bullpen's been kind of their soft spot this year so
Yeah.
far. And so I took the family out to Sacramento Saturday. So every Saturday that
Hmm.
they play in Sacramento, there's some kind of uh, Sacramento themed giveaway,
Right.
and the team is wearing the Sacramento jersey. So this past weekend they're giving out
So cool.
free hats. The weekend before it was jerseys.
Hmm.
They have a basketball jersey coming up here, I think next Saturday.
Nice.
So there's a lot of things going on there for Sacramento Saturdays. Um, so that game was packed.
Yeah.
We just went on a whim because it was an early game,
Right.
and it was jamming. It was
Yeah.
jamming out there. So the girls had a good time. They played the White Sox. We actually, we typically leave from the early game to the seventh inning,
Mm.
get the seventh inning stretch, and then we take off.
Right.
And so it went extra innings. It went, I think, 11 innings. So
Yeah.
they won that, which was great. So Sacramento's doing great in that
Yeah, I'm
aspect.
loving
How
it.
are yeah, there's a lot of local Giants fans out here. How are they looking this year?
Yeah, kind of opposite end of the spectrum, but hey, there's you got to have a winner and you got to have a loser, right? So right now, that's our San Francisco Giants sitting at a 9-13 record. Again, it's early on in the season, right? And it's
Oh yeah,
baseball; anything can happen. But hey, fourth in division, only to be just ahead of the god awful Colorado Rockies. But you know what? New head coach, and he's still trying to find his footing
yep.
in obviously Major League Baseball, right? Big difference. I saw something the other day. I think he had his first ejection, and
It's nice to get that out the way.
yeah, had to get it out of the way. But as a manager, you're looking for a way, right, to fire up your troops and to fire up your guys. And I thought it was interesting how he got ejected, and then his players were coming up and like tapping him on the butt, like, "Hey, man, we got you." Kind of
Yeah,
like, we got you.
yeah. Here we go.
But of course, I think they went on to lose that game. I think they had the lead when he got ejected,
Oh,
and then they lost. I think they had the lead 2-1, and then they lost 3-2. I forget who they were playing, but anyway, whatever game that he got ejected on, that was the game. So,
okay.
but yeah, I mean, that's what you got right now for Bay Area, San
Baseball.
Francisco. Yeah. So.
One other quick note: we have NFL draft coming up.
Yeah,
So that's going to be exciting. Your Raiders are in line
on
for
the
the
clock.
first pick. Almost consensus that everyone's saying they're going to pick Fernando Mendoza. You hear some twinklings of maybe there's some trades happening or anything, but stay tuned for that. We'll get into the draft coming up, and we'll go over all of that. But thanks for tuning in this week for your Sports Minute. All right, Garrett, I want to get into uh, a continuing conversation from last episode where we kind of dove into the VA loan, the pros and the cons, the benefits, and so uh, give us some extra details about what some of these benefits are for our veteran service members out there.
Totally. So I know last episode it was a lot about just in general what the VA loan can do for, both veterans and active duty. But what I really wanted to kind of take it a step further today on was the portion of veterans that have the disabled
Mm-hmm.
um, tag to it, or classification rather. And so with having that disabled classification, you're now looking at more benefits. And so a couple of those are number one, waiving the VA funding fee. This is a percentage that gets rolled into your loan amount when you are buying a house, and that funding fee percentage is well over 2% if you're a first time user. And so if you're a disabled veteran, you get to waive that 2% fee from your loan amount. So it's saving you now more
Even
money
more.
as a part to your monthly payment. So that it could be critical, right?
Well, just to rewind from
Yeah.
last week, just to jog some folks' memories, we were talking about comparing FHA, VA, and
Hmm.
conventional, and we were saving like $400 over FH or over conventional
Yeah.
loans. We were saving like $100 and something dollars
Hmm.
over FHA loans.
Hmm.
So now you're saying that if we have a veteran and they have what they call a disability rating,
Yep.
that they could save an additional
Correct.
2% fee on their mortgage.
Correct.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So your savings go even further, and that's just the first part. The second part is that with that disability rating and classification, you have the ability to pay discounted property taxes. And we've had several clients that we've helped purchase homes go to the county after closing and turn in their VA paperwork, and they're able to get discounted property tax rates, and that again can now save you more hundreds of dollars towards your monthly payment. So it's critical. It's something that I bring up every time that we're pre-approving a disabled veteran. Is I'm always kind of making that note, like, hey, when this closes, you need to go to the county and you need to talk to them about your property taxes. So that's
Yeah.
another really big one as well.
And that's something that we can actually get set up while you're in contract to purchase your property. It's I've had the title officers print out the paperwork.
Yeah.
We'll fill it out right there in their office, and then once we close, I can literally drop it off. My kids go to school in that right by the county assessor's
Hmm.
office. I could drop it off for you. It's not a problem. So that's an easy step. We don't want to miss that because, like Garrett said, that's hundreds of
Yeah, a
dollars a
lot.
month. I mean,
Yeah.
that could be three, four, 500,
Yeah.
depending on what purchase price you're at. I mean, it could be several $100s that you'd be saving per month.
Totally, it's huge. You got to do it. It's a got to do thing. The last one is, usually having that rating, it's coming with income, disability income, VA disability income. And that income we get to use as qualifying income. We get to use that. So that can be a tremendous help for somebody when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to debt to income ratio qualification or what have you. It's a big help. And I wanted people to know that that is income that we get to use. We get to use that. That's not just income that you just have on the side. We're using that in your loan application for qualifying. So,
Yeah,
kind of a big deal there too, as well.
totally. Another thing I want to add to the conversation for our veterans, and I really hope that if you know someone who's a veteran, I don't care if it's the younger generation veteran like myself, or it's your great grandpa or someone of that nature that's a little older gentleman, who maybe served in Desert Storm or served at the end in the 80s, or uh, I've heard this notion out there where some veterans are like, oh, I didn't know I can still use a VA.
Mm,
They just thought that maybe the time elapsed or it got away from them. No, look, once you're a veteran,
yeah,
those benefits are your benefits, the remainder of your life.
totally.
So don't think that, oh, I'm already in my 50s, I can't use a VA home loan. No, no, no. You can definitely still utilize it. So don't think that, there's a timestamp on this benefit or anything of that nature. These benefits you earned through your sacrifice and dedication, and they're yours. So if you know someone who might, thought that they lost this benefit for whatever reason, reach out to us. We can at least get you the information to check, get you connected over to the VA, and get the process started for you, utilizing your benefits.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up. That's a great point. You're absolutely right. That it doesn't expire, guys. If you did the time and you did the service, like you mentioned, it doesn't matter if you're 50, if you're 20, if you're 80. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you
Mm-hmm.
have it, with the correct documentation, we turn in and we get you covered. So thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah, of course.
All right, Antonio. So on the last episode, we talked about how, in closing, we wanted to talk to the viewers a little bit about why you should choose us, right, as your real estate team representation as both a realtor and a loan officer. But wanted to kind of start with you, obviously, right, in this world today, there's so many options in terms of who people could use as realtor representation, right? And what I really wanted to kind of ask and have you share with everybody is, I got a couple questions here for you. Number one, in terms of why somebody should pick you as their realtor, what do you do to win deals, to help folks win deals and to get into homes?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think there's a lot of folks that we meet, whether it's open houses or on the streets, or you hear about, hey, Susie bought a house and they use their, cousin's brother's
Yeah,
uncle or something like that. And I understand there's a lot of realtors out there, and I think the biggest factor when it comes down to one winning the deal, it's not just writing the offer. It's not just um, opening doors so you can see a house or something of that nature, or putting a stick in the ground and trying to sell a house. Uh, I think the biggest factor on winning in real estate and working with a professional realtor is what that person's going to do for you during the entire process, in terms of giving you the level of education that you want, giving you the comfort that you want.
hmm,
Because for a lot of folks, this is the most money that they'll ever spend in their life. And I
right,
really take that to heart. And so obviously, I want to win for my clients. They have a goal that we set at the very start of everything, and I want them to reach that goal. And so the one thing that I really pride myself on is the relationships that I make in the real estate community.
mm,
And so, that's going to networking events, that's going to brokerage meetings, that's going to multi brokerage like home tours, and really being out there and meeting my contemporaries in the real
right,
estate industry. Because I know if there's a house that my client wants, and it comes down to me and another offer are very similar in terms and everything
right,
else, but I have the relationship,
yep,
9 times out of 10, I'm going to win that deal. And it was nothing more than like, I know that person.
right,
I've communicated with them very
right,
well throughout this entire process, from the showing to after showing to writing the offer. Plus, there's a level like, oh my gosh, I see this guy every week or every other
right,
week, or I see him out and about. He's
right,
involved in the community. He's not someone that just came out of nowhere that I've never heard of. That
right,
I don't know if he's going to close the deal,
totally,
and go away again.
totally,
And so I think that's a big factor into winning deals, is obviously preparing the offer and everything else, but it's the relationship. It's going into different areas and parts of town that I know like the back of my hand, and knowing
right,
what to expect
right,
from an inspection standpoint,
right.
from what the market's doing in that neighborhood, and really putting that all together for my clients.
Perfect. No, that's great. Thank you for sharing. I feel like too, there's been so many instances where, we have a client that likes ABC Main Street, right?
Yep.
123 Main Street. And, you're always like, oh, you know what? Hey, I know that person. They're in
Hmm.
my office here. Like, let me just
Yeah.
go knock on their door real quick. Let me talk to them. Let me see how many offers they got in hand. It's like, okay, like that is very valuable, guys. Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
huge. Or hey, I went out to lunch with that person, a couple years ago just to say hello and connect and network. Valuable, like that's huge. So, great points. And you know what? I think that kind of leads right into what I'm kind of bringing up next. Last few years, right? In Sacramento, you've been one of the top producers in Sacramento. And how did you get to that level? How did you get to being and becoming a top producer here in Sacramento? Um, can you share with us?
Yeah. No, definitely. I think the biggest thing to being to me to being a successful real estate
Yeah,
agent is really I tell folks all the time, like, hey, they ask like, what's the secret sauce, or how do you do what you do? And I said, honestly, I just keep my head down
yeah,
and keep going, and I don't really necessarily worry about the noise around us. I know, especially right now in the current market, we got a war going on here and bombings going on there and all kinds of stuff going on, and it's at the end of the day, to me, that's just outside distraction. There's folks, and no matter what market you're in, that are going to buy and sell real estate.
right,
And so I really just try to look at that portion of the business and just know if I keep doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing, the business will be there, and I'll be able to help those people and not bring on the world stresses into a very stressful situation already in
totally,
terms of buying or selling a property. And so I think another thing though, and my aunt told me this growing up, it's you are who your friends are.
yeah,
And so, like you said in the previous question, is me networking with other realtors. I want to be around these other high producing real estate agents. I want to be around those who are out there making a great impact on our community. And so, I surround myself with great real estate minds, great real estate agents, professionals at every level. And so when I'm in that environment, there's only one way for me to go, and that's really to go up and to be at that level. And
right.
so I really carry myself, um, really want to carry myself in their company, and that just elevates what I do and how I do it, and I think provides a wonderful service to my clients.
Awesome. Awesome. So I know you have a marketing background.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about what strategic marketing plans that you incorporate, into your business. How to use your background and put it in your business.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person, so I know a lot of my past clients have heard that statement. Like, I like to visualize, especially if you're on the buying side. Like, send me some homes that you like, or
Mm,
whether they've already sold already or on the market. I want to see it because I'm going to go out and preview on your behalf and look at those things. So when it comes to listing homes, I'm the same way. I take the home that we're listing. I look at the bed bath count, look at the area that we're in, what schools are around us, are we close to jobs and those type of things. Or and so I'm really always looking at who am I going to market this home to. Obviously, I'm going to market to everybody, but
sure.
there's a buyer that I'm trying to build,
Right.
and that it's, hey, we're in a 2 bed 1 bath in North Oak Park. All right, so I'm probably looking at a nurse or a doctor or someone that wants an Airbnb. So I'm always building that sec so that I know how to target. I know how to like target that market
Right.
and really focus after, okay, these people are going to be a higher probability
Right.
of buying this home. If I'm in a 3 bed 2 bath in South Sacramento and we're right around the corner from an elementary school that's in Elk Grove Unified School, like I know kind of in general like
Totally.
who my buyers are going to be, and that's how we're going to prepare that home to be sold. We're
Right.
going to make sure that that we have fresh paint so that a family can move in like, oh my gosh, everything's turnkey ready to go. And so it's really taking, you know, looking at the whole scenario of whether buying or selling, and putting together just the end result, and then kind of working towards that end result.
Totally. Yeah, no, I mean, and I've seen it in work before too, like obviously in person with, the clients that we share and work with together. And a lot of times it feels like in this industry and in this business, right? There's a lot of cookie cutter type
Hmm.
of marketing plans, right? And I know just from, like I said, experience and seeing it, like you do have a personal touch that is not so much the cookie cutter that actually does drive value with driving more results. So I do see it myself. So That's great. Anything else you kind of want to share with us as to anything that you think additionally that that someone should know if they're out looking to buy or looking to sell? Like again, kind of take home why
Yeah.
perhaps you.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me is I want to work and help folks with their goals. Like
Mm,
I'm really client centric. Yeah, I worked for 14 years prior to real estate at Costco, and I really take to heart their what they call their members first mentality. And so I always want to put my clients ahead of myself because I know if I do right by them, they'll do right by me in terms of
right.
they'll leave me the positive review, they'll refer me to their family and friends. And to be quite honest, I mean, literally without those referrals and introductions to other folks, I probably, the last 3 years would have been a whole different ball game for
Right.
me. And so I really rely on those. And I think my clients see that I am there for them at
Right.
every turning page. And so I'm not just your real estate agent for right now. I almost sound to myself, I sound like a broken record. Many of you probably haven't heard me say these things yet,
Yeah.
but I another one of the things that I tell my clients is like me selling you one house doesn't do anything for me. Yes, it helps pay the bills and do all of that, and it's a commission check and things of that nature. But to be quite honest, it really like that's not my intention. My
Right.
intention isn't just to like be transactional, like oh I got that,
Right.
then let me go find another transaction. My whole intention is on the relationship.
Yeah. Perfect.
So Garrett, appreciate the questions you had for me on in terms of why the consumer, folks out here watching or listening to us today, should pick me as a realtor. And so I'd like to obviously open that floor for them to you in terms of why they should pick you as a lender. And I know obviously from we've been working together for a handful of years now, and the clients that we have come across together, and just seeing what you do behind the scenes and what listening to you and how you go about things, and really listen to your heart in terms of how you want to educate folks,
Yeah.
and just being the transparency that you have with people. So tell us a little bit about you know you walking your clients through that transparency and that education,
Totally.
and what that does for you in your business.
Totally. So my biggest thing is being 100%, you know, all the time. And what I kind of mean by that is being completely transparent and honestly just kind of keeping it real with the consumer and with the client. And what I kind of mean by that is, there's so much that is unknown on the mortgage end and on the mortgage side of things with just the terminology. What's this fee? What's that fee? My biggest thing is on the upfront side of the process. We're going to, as a consumer, you can expect three things from me. Number one is you can expect clarity. Number two, you can expect, being educated on what all of this is, because as I've talked about before on previous episodes, is that the more confident that you
Yeah.
are, the better decisions you're going to make. And how do you build that confidence? Well, it's by being educated, right? So those are my two biggest takeaways. And number three is solutions. I think that when you are going to get pre-approved, right, you have not so much call it a problem, but you're looking to find out how much you are qualifying for and on what programs you can get approved for, right? And so the you're trying to find a solution for that specific person, all the while making sure that you're bringing a lot of clarity to the situation and you're educating the client up front. And those three things are what I really try to hammer home in the upfront process of buying a house.
Yeah. The one thing I really like that you do is in that upfront process that I've heard you tell the clients as we're on like maybe a conference call or we're in that initial client
Yeah.
meeting together in person, is that you tell them about, hey, the application is going to be 10 to 15 minutes and we can do that in person, online, over the phone together, how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you always mention once that's done and we run everything, we're going to go over
Yep.
um, that initial disclosure, like the
Yep.
initial numbers and the different loan scenarios. And
Yep.
you always tell them that's at least a 45 minute to
Yep.
an hour phone call
Yep.
or in-person meeting,
Yep.
which I don't know how ever many lenders do that out there. I know
Yeah.
not everyone does, but to me, that's a part of that preparation and
Sure.
that like transparency that I really appreciate about what you do from the real estate
Totally.
professional side. Because I know there's a lot of lenders out there that's like, oh, I have a better rate and that's all that matters
Right.
when there's so much more that goes into it. So I
Totally.
really I wanted to give you some
Yeah.
kudos on that.
No, thank you. Gosh, I have colleagues tell me like how crazy I am that I do this for every single person, and it's the truth. I do it for literally every single person. But there's a reason why, right? It's again, it builds trust, it builds transparency, and it gives us a clear vision and a clear path so that when they go back over to you, right, when it's time to start making offers and start looking at homes, we have a direct vision and a direct line as to what we want to get done, and we get it done. So.
Second question I wanted to really, you know, kind of ask you about in terms of why someone should pick you to be their lender. So obviously you're going to educate them, you're going to give them the transparency, um, and so really what I know you're going to value their information, you're going to value their the relationship that you have with them.
Mhm.
Go into that a little bit about that next step in terms of like why that person should pick you to
Yeah.
be work with you.
Yeah. So we've kind of covered the upfront portion. So now it's the transaction, right? So like what am I doing within the transaction that may be different, right, than perhaps other loan officers or banking institutions? A few things. Number one is you're staying informed. There is so much information going on the second you get into contract that you are constantly staying informed. I start a group chat with every single client that I have, and our communication line runs on text. If I tell people if they got to call me, you call me. So that's number one is like being informed throughout the entire process. Number two is swiftness, right? Like just like anything, I feel like now in this world, right? As a consumer, you're wondering how fast can we get this done, right? It's speed. We can move. We can move nowadays in terms of loans. When things get turned in, we're able to turn them over fairly quickly. So swiftness is honestly a really big tool and a big advantage in this industry and in this business. Protection. And so, what I kind of mean by that is when you're in transaction and you're in contract, right, you have your contingencies, which is protecting you. But all the while, too, like you have myself on the lending side of it with my thumb on the pulse of your loan transaction. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, you're getting direct communication from me, and I think that plays. I think it gives the client security,
Yeah.
right? I'm involved in communication channel throughout the entire process. You can talk to me, and so I think that those are really big takeaways for the transaction aspect of it, as to why someone should work with me in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've seen it in terms of I've had some clients that obviously we didn't work together on, and they had their own lender for whatever reason or another. And you call, I call, or client wants to call, and they had a question on X, Y, or Z, and it's well, I got to call in. They're going to send me to this service desk, or my loan officer works at a big bank, and they're on the teller line right now, and they'll
Right.
call us back in an hour or something. So it's really nice the accessibility
Sure.
that you have.
Yeah.
And if someone had a question, they go right to you.
Yep.
It's not let me call my assistant, let me do
Totally.
something else. Like
Totally.
it's you one on one, like you said,
Totally.
finger on the pulse. So
Totally.
that is definitely a big thing. And so now leading that into our closing, and so I think with like you said, when we talked about this during early episodes about the buying process. That first week is extremely busy. That last week is
Yes.
extremely busy.
Yes.
What is your value add to a client, with all that chaos happening that last week and then closing the file?
Yeah. So in that, basically in closing and in going into that last week and further beyond, right, is kind of like the points that you kind of touched on as well. It's being your client for life. It's wanting to be a resource for you at any given time that you have uh, in your existence, really. But further beyond that, though, like we have Antonio and I, right? Like we have tools to contractors, whether it's CPAs, financial advisors. We have maybe friends and family of folks that are small business owners in the community, right? Like it goes so much more beyond than just finishing a transaction for you. We want to to get to know you more, honestly, and we want to be able to stay in touch with you. I mean, one of my biggest things is I try and follow everybody that I close with. I try and follow them on social media. Follow me on social media, right? If we're not already following each
Yeah.
other. It's the sense of community, really, is really kind of what I try and hammer home, right? Having the resources, having the community, because in my personal opinion, with the resources and with the community, it just opens people up to more opportunities, like
Correct.
more opportunities to, and that could be for whatever, right? Opportunities for, it's very broad in terms of opportunities, but I just think it's a great way to stay connected, to stay networked. Um, Obviously, with if there's any an opportunity for savings, right? That's something that I always look at for my past clients and for my folks. You guys go to my database, and we're always heavily involved beyond closing, and that's what I really want to hammer home as well.
Yeah. I know I went out with some past clients of ours this past weekend, and they just came up on their 1 year home anniversary of buying their home. And Garrett sent them a video,
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, you know, basically congratulations on the year, this, that, and the other." And the clients that we were hanging out with were so impressed by, like, "Oh my gosh, that's so amazing! Never had that happen to me before." And they bought and sold probably 3 or 4 homes now,
mm,
and I know they were really impressed by that. But then further into that conversation, you're like, "Oh yeah, we actually have been in touch because there was a small window of an opportunity there for them to potentially refinance." And that's stuff that you brought to them because,
totally.
like you said, you even after the transaction, you get your finger on the pulse
Yep.
and you're saying, "Hey, I got these clients and this interest rate. This might be a benefit to them. Let me reach out."
For sure, 100%, and that's what we strive for, right? I mean, it's basically to be in your corner at all times. That's what we're here for. That's what we strive to do, um, and that's kind of our goal.
Yeah, yeah. Relationships are massive to us. We're not transaction-based people.
Totally.
We want folks to tie into our communities. That's why we do, one, personally, each of us
Hmm.
goes out and really try to engage our clients personally, outside of the real estate world. But we also do community events that we try to bring folks into, and just to one tie them into friends, family, or neighbors that are in their areas, or working professionals that maybe live in different neighborhoods, but they're the same age group and things of that nature. So just networking and bringing folks together, I know is massive to us. That personal relationship, you mentioned already, of being like their lender or their realtor for life. Like that is the ultimate goal, is
Always.
to, hey, Garrett, I got a question. We talked about it before. We had another past client of ours that reached out to us. Hey, I'm doing this kind of remodeling work. What do you guys think? Or what's
Yeah.
your opinion? Do you have any contacts? And that's so cool to be drawn into
So
that.
cool.
But
So cool.
they know that we're there for them.
Yep.
They know that, like, we're invested in their success as homeowners, and
Like we were their first contact when they wanted to remodel.
yeah,
They reached out to, they group chatted us and they said, "Hey, you are our guys. Like, help us out here." And
yeah,
it was in regards to remodeling, which of course, like we mentioned, we got resources for that, so we helped them. I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't stop.
No, and it's cool to get those
It's
texts.
awesome.
Like, and
I
I love
love
to
it.
see the after
Yeah,
photos and what they
totally.
did, and what they're going through. It's fun.
Yeah.
I know some other things that we really um, wanted to share on is that a big part for us is the teamwork that we have together. And so I know not every transaction we get to work together on, obviously, but we get the majority of them
Yeah.
that we do get to work together. And I think the great thing about us as being a team, for our clients' sake, is that we both have, how do we win? We're both, I think, very competitive people,
Right.
from just being athletes back in the day. And we want to win, not for ourselves, but for you, for our
Right.
clients. Like, we want to win every single time.
Totally.
And so there's so many times where we jump on, I showed the house, oh my gosh, hey, XYZ love this house.
Hmm.
What do we got to do to win, Garrett?
Right.
Where are you at? And you're like, okay, hey, I can tweak these, we can do this,
Right.
we can. And so tell us a little bit about the strategy to win, whether it's a negotiation, an initial offer,
Totally.
what does that look like?
I mean, it's just the one word that I'll put it is it's teamwork. like that's what it comes down to. Like you mentioned, it's the teamwork as to, hey, how can we finesse this in order to kind of make this work, and in order to kind of get our offer accepted. The amount of back and forth that we do together, that may or may not go unseen or noticed,
Yeah.
but there's a lot. There's truly a lot. There's a lot of negotiation strategy that we try and pursue on our clients' behalf, whether it's, again, um, relationship based, or if it's like I said, whether it's we're writing a tighter contract, or if it has to do something on the loan side, if it's something on more so the real estate side. But as a team, gosh, we work really well together.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to put it. We gel well, I think,
Yeah.
and I think it helps. I think it helps the client. I think it makes the client feel better too.
Yeah.
So
I know there's plenty of times where you're calling the underwriter, just, hey, are you sure on this? Are you
yeah,
like, we want to do, so I can appreciate those efforts from your side. I know we want to offer earlier this year for clients that we had
hmm,
together where, I got the home inspector in before we even wrote the offer.
right,
I got my contractor in the house just to give it a once over because we knew, inspections were provided to us, but we knew that, my clients still had their first time home buyers. They
right.
still had some concerns. They still had some questions. And so just to bring that, those professionals in there to give them either the assurance or to give them the second eyes. Like, these are
Hmm,
our guys in here looking now.
hmm,
We weren't even
hmm.
in contract yet, and we were able to get those things done, for our clients to make them more comfortable.
And do you think that listing agent, when they saw the amount of tag team that we put together on it,
Oh,
like, does that not make you feel
it
good as a
does.
listing agent? Like,
Yep.
oh, these guys are on top of their stuff.
Because there's some times where you have the agent called me 3, 4, 5 times, never heard from the lender,
Right,
or maybe the lender called me 2 or 3 times, never heard from the realtor.
right.
And so it is nice that I write an offer, you're calling, I'm calling, they're getting
Yeah,
tag team, like we're communicating in the back. How'd your phone call go? How'd your
yeah,
and we're just kind of back and forth with it, because we have that one mission, like we're
totally.
driving the boat to the goal for our clients. There's another kind of strategy that we'll do is there's times that before I even write the offer, I'll let you know, but I'll call. And again, this is part of being, like you said, teamwork, right? I'll call the inspectors that I normally use and say, hey, I'm writing an offer. It's going to be really competitive. Offers are due on Tuesday. Do you think you can do, an inspection for me on Wednesday or Thursday or like Friday? Because I'm going to write a 3-day inspection contingency time period. And so, like, I'm making those calls for even write the offer
Right,
just to put it in place. And then as I submit the offer, hey, seller, we're doing a 3-day, inspection contingency. Here's the days and times that I already have set up. And, and that alone will be like, oh man, these guys are ready. They're on it.
they're
Like
ready to go.
and so it's those small things that lead ultimately to you winning as a consumer. And
Hmm.
that's what we want every single time is for you guys to win, to fulfill your goals, and for us to kind of be there to kind of cheer you on and to celebrate those victories.
All right, guys. Well, in closing, just wanted to say thank you again. Obviously, if you're ever, looking to purchase, sell, refinance, we obviously think we're up for the job, and we would love to help you and your family succeed with your goals. Antonio mentioned whether you're in the beginning phases or you're ready to buy right now, we meet you at wherever you're at, and we're in your corner.
Awesome. That's very well said. And I just want to take a quick moment because I have something for you.
Okay.
Total surprise.
Okay.
Uh, and so give me a second here.
Oh, Jesus.
I got a little rip for you, a little
Oh,
Pokemon rip.
God.
So just wanted to,
Oh, my
if you want to call
gosh.
it a thank you or whatever, but I love the joy that you have for your
Oh,
Pokemon,
God. I can't
and
stop
so
smiling.
so here you go, a little Pokeball, which I
Oh,
thought was pretty
man.
cool.
Guys, I did not have opening Pokemon cards on my to-do list for this Tuesday rainy afternoon morning. Oh, gosh. Oh, my
So
God.
hopefully you hit something massive, and
Hey,
then we pay for vacation or something.
oh my gosh. Oh, look at this, guys. Okay, so with these Pokeballs, okay, they give you 3 packs. Um, this is okay, so we have a Paradox Rift pack. Okay. We have, oh, there's two of them. So there's two Paradox Rift packs. Okay. And then this one right here is, I thought it looks like it's Surging Sparks, but it says Scarlet and Violet right here. Okay.
And
so these ones are a little different than the Pokeballs that I've opened up. So I'm actually kind of excited because I don't know if I've opened up any Paradox Rift before. I've heard of them, but I haven't opened them yet.
it's all foreign language to me. I have no idea what he's talking about. I just know I want.
But
Pikachu,
we'll definitely know. Here, let's start with
Charmander.
we'll start with this one first. Oh my god, this is so crazy, guys! If we get a hit while we're on camera here on the podcast,
that'd be amazing.
That would actually be really cool. Okay, so the trick is you got to take this top one, take it off to the side. You take this one, you slide it to the front. It should be an energy.
All right.
Okay, this is an energy card. Okay, so I'm just gonna go like this. Let me get this out of the way here. We got some important stuff. Okay,
move it all out the way.
Move it all out the way. So we got. I'm gonna have to take a look each time too, because I got to see, you know, what kind of magic we got going on. So far, you know, we're just.
So all the good hits are in the back now.
It's in the back.
Energy
it's in the back.
There.
Correct.
Okay.
It's towards the back. Okay. That's a nice Muck. That's an original 151 guy.
Okay.
There was a Drowsy that was earlier. Okay, we're still going here. Okay, and then now, ooh, that's a little Mankey.
Okay.
That's cool. That's an original 151. Okay. Yeah, nope. And we got a basic. So this first one, a bunch of basics, but that's okay. That's a part of it.
That's all right.
That is all right.
We'll take it.
We will take it. We got a cool little Mankey in this one. Okay, so that's one down. Two to go. All right, so these are the Paradox Rift packs. So let's see.
So what are you looking? Do you know like all the chase cards for all of these things? Like, is there like what's
I do.
To get out of there?
So like I said, I haven't opened up any Paradox Rift. So the chase cards out of the Paradox, to be honest, I'm unsure of.
Okay.
But for a lot of the packs that I've opened up recently, yes, I know what the chase cards are.
Got it.
I'm very aware of what I'm trying to get. But I'll be able to, like, I can tell if there's a hit or not in these. I'll be able to tell.
Yeah.
So boom.
I did play. I played the little Game Boy game. You know, Pokemon. You know, I got like my badges, my 7 or
That's
whatever
right.
you get.
It's 8.
Yeah, whatever. I got. Well, maybe I didn't finish the game.
I was just messing with you. Okay, here we go. You know, past Generation 3, I'm very unfamiliar, but I know my guys up to Generation 3. Like a lot of these guys, I'm just still kind of like, I don't know.
Still learning them.
Yeah, that's okay. Okay. I mean, so this is a great Pokemon, right? It's Latios, not Latios. So this is a good Pokemon, but it's a basic card.
Got
it. Like it's just So
So no hits yet.
No hits yet.
All right. Pack 3. Here we go. 3. Come on, dude. You got to get something good. I need to see you like pull your hair out, flip over, something. I need like we need some excitement.
We do need some excitement for the pod.
So, yeah. I mean, obviously,
here we go.
If you guys want to make Garrett happy, send him a pack of Pokemon cards.
Oh, please.
He is going to love it. That's going to be at 915 20th Street, Sacramento. So send a Pokemon pack to Garrett. We'll open it right here live on the pod.
That's it. All right, here we go. Okay. See, there's still just a bunch of new guys. Blitzel. Yeah. Okay, I don't know Blitzel. Okay. Huh. Trainer card. Last card, I believe. So this is a double rare. This is probably the best card that we got out of everything.
Okay.
It's not great, I'll be honest, but it's probably the best card that we got. So
there you go.
Yeah, you know what? We didn't get a home run, but hey, you know what? That's why you take
singles,
your hacks.
baby.
Right.
Singles.
Right.
Awesome.
Well, dude, thank you. That was like super cool. I like completely nerded out there for 5 minutes or
Yeah.
however long we just did that for. That is awesome.
Hey,
This is my jam right here.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Please, as always, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share. Sharing is caring. We like to say that. We have little kids, so sharing is caring. Follow Garrett on Instagram at,
GH_lending.
and I am on the IG at Sacramento.Realtor. Thank you guys. Have a great week. We're out.